Yesterday I created this adult size patchwork witch hat, and I had some fabric scraps left over and decided that I would make a miniature version for my dog. So I started by spending the entire morning working out a pattern. After I created the pattern, I did a test with the lining fabric, but now that I know that my measurements are correct, we are going to put together the primary piece, including the brim and the cone. So I have brim piece and we have our cone piece, and then I also have batting. So we're going to and then stitch all the way around here, and stitch as well. So now that I have done the quilting piece, I'm just going to cut out the extra fabric. All right, so I'm going to take this over to the machine and actually sew a 1/4 inch seam right along this piece right here, making sure I get all the layers. Just stitched it together, and then I turned it right side out and poked out the cone here. So now what we need to do is we need to connect, we need to stitch this to this. And we're gonna do that by hand because the machine is a little temperamental when it comes to that. After I placed right sides together, I used a ton of pins to make sure nothing was going to move when I hand stitched it. Then I grabbed my little sewing needle and just did about a 1/4 inch seam by hand all the way around to finish. Here we have this. So you could essentially just put something over the bottom because you don't really need an indentation here obviously for a pet. Also, you could just leave it like this and finish the edge if you wanted this to be like a tabletop hat. But what we're gonna do is we have our lining, and the lining actually has a little hole right here so that we can turn this all right side out. In fact, we are going to put right sides together and we are going to line up our seams. So we have our right sides together, so the lining and this piece here. And now this piece is actually big enough, so I'm gonna go to the machine. We're gonna go around with a 1/4 inch, making sure we get all of the layers in there. So I've clipped all around the corners, and now what we're gonna do is hopefully we'll be able to turn everything right side out. Before we press this down, we are going to come back and we are going to stitch this closed. You can do that with a hand stitch or just simply by going over to the machine and doing a really close to the edge stitch. I did end up adding a couple of elastic straps to the inside, so I just stitched those on by hand, and it looks very, very similar to the adult size. Now, let's go try it on Lily. Good girl. Sit.